drop a truth bomb on you guys. So Baylor could have been playing great this year and lost to Utah. And I think everyone wouldn't have exactly, it wouldn't have been shameful by any means. The Utes are back-to-back Rose Bowl qualifiers. So Pac-12 champions. So let's look to the future of the Big 12 for a moment. The 8 new teams to the conference, the 4 that came in this year and the four that are joining next year from the Pac-12. Is Utah that team that is most likely to be kind of a consistent national power? And if not the Utes, who?
I'll jump in on this one first. I think Utah is the obvious choice, just because of the success that they've had. Kyle Whittingham has been there so long. He's got that program rolling. It's hard to imagine them having like a big drop off. So I would say of those 8, yes, it would be Utah. I think BYU is capable of that. I think UCF has had moments, up and down. And
what about Coach Prime?
Coach Prime,
come on, give it up for Coach
Prime. There we go. I mean, yes, absolutely. The start that they've had, and if they hold on to him, that would be my thing. Is he there next year or 2 years down the road, that kind of thing. But yeah, I think probably that's the 4 that I would look at. And Cincinnati, though, is a team that was in the college football playoff a couple of years ago. But I think I would probably look at those 4 first. Being Colorado, Utah, UCF. Did I add somebody else in there? I don't know. Cincinnati. I would look at those 4 first. But that would be my opinion. I think Utah kind of heads that list.
Zach?
Yeah, Utah is clear number 1 for me. But I'm going to kind of zig here. I think Arizona State is kind of a sleeping giant. I really like their coach, Kenny Dillingham. Right. He's a graduate of them. And I know they're kind of punting on this year, but, they've got, of the teams that are coming to the Big 12, they're only behind Colorado in terms of a recruiting class. And you can kind of see, I know we're going to talk about Texas in the future, but, you can kind of see what Arizona State is building. And I know that area, Arizona, Phoenix, is growing, lots of recruits. And if they can kind of keep some of those guys in Arizona, I think that they have a chance to kind of get back to a prominent level and kind of be a force in the new Big 12.
Yeah, and speaking of that new Big 12, I really like what the Big 12 has done here. I think we've said it before, but the 4 teams they brought in this year, I felt like were about the 4 best free agents that they could have gotten from that next tier of conferences. Obviously BYU was independent, not with a conference, but I thought, you couldn't have brought in much better teams in terms of football. I mean, those 4 had success in recent years, as Jerry pointed out, Cincy in the playoff. I mean, Jerry and I can remember seeing Baylor and UCF play in a Fiesta Bowl down there a few years ago. So yeah. And then they really wanted those 4 corners schools from the Pac-12. And Utah, I think, is certainly the jewel among those, just based on, again, what you guys said. But man, if they can keep Colorado, if they can keep Dion, there, I think they have the potential to be kind of a hot team, certainly among recruits. Zach talked about what Arizona State's building, and then, Arizona's had good seasons too in football. Now, where Arizona really helps you is making the best basketball conference in the country even better. I mean, let's face it, Kansas, Baylor, Arizona, whew, that's tough.
Houston.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So I like this league. I think it's going to be fun. You lose some big name schools in OU and Texas, but I think you've regrouped nicely. So give it up for the little drummer boy, Brett Yormark.